Landlords, don't forget to tell your attorney certain things about your tenancy. Hi, my name is Rob Wells. I'm the Landlord Warrior on TikTok and YouTube. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to my videos here. Okay, so I don't know, it's like a theme of the day or something like that. I've been getting landlords forgetting to tell us about certain things about their tenancies, such as, if they raise the rent, or key facts about the tenancy, such as if they serve certain notices and so forth. I just want to give you a public service announcement. Don't forget to tell your attorney these things, because guess what's going to happen? Either it might affect your case if you don't tell your attorney when they're factoring into what you need to do to deal with terminating the tenancy, or it might actually cost you money. Okay, I'll tell you a war story here. Happened to me several years ago, way before like the Tenants Protection Act came into place. I was in court on some type of non-payment of rent case. The tenant alleged a bunch of defenses. We ended up going to court. This was before our courts had like settlement conferences. We tried to work it out in the hallway and couldn't, so the judge takes our case up. In the presentation of our case, or when it was time for the defendant to defend against the case, the tenant brought up the issue of, hey, my landlord never removed all of the their personal belongings and stuff in the garage. We never had use of that. And one thing that the tenant really emphasized in court, which kind of, I think, was the nail on the coffin to our conditional judgment that it was entered, was the landlord had left used underwear in this garage, and the tenant made it a point to take a picture of that. And I think once we saw the pictures, the judge saw it, it was like, oh man, this is bad. I'm like, I looked at my landlord, I'm like, did this actually happen? And there was this blank stare. My landlord gave me this blank stare, and I was just like, oh no, man, I can laugh about it now, but moral of the story is, don't leave your nasty underwear out, and take that stuff out before you let a tenant move in. Okay, that's my war story there. But there were several issues, and I think the judge made the right decision on that based on the issues happening. Conditional judgment was entered, and for those that don't know what that is, so in non-payment of rent cases, if you have a material breach of habitability, the judge can declare that in a judgment and basically say, hey, listen, we do have an issue here. What happens is the judge makes a decision on what the rent should be. Like, you have the contract rent, but what is the rent based on the conditions? And the judge in this case did that, and the tenants ended up paying it. So the tenants prevailed, ended up costing my landlord a bunch of legal fees, for me to go to court. And, they had to deal with these tenants, for a little bit longer time. Ultimately, the lease ended up expiring, and that's how the tenants got out that way. But moral of the story is, you got to tell your landlord's attorney certain things, especially if they're asking for that. A lot of places, including our office, we have an intake process. We ask you various questions. You got to tell us what's going on, because that can affect, your case here. For example, in rent cases nowadays with the Tenants Protection Act, if you increase your rents over the legal limits, that could be that's a issue in a rent case, because you got to make sure that the rent's lawful and all that good stuff. So, moral of the story is, don't forget to tell your attorney certain things. If you're going through a tenant situation where you need help, basically you don't know what to do, it's gone out of hand, and you're in the Northern California area, feel free to reach out. We might be able to help out. Folks, until next time, I'll talk to you then. Okay? Thanks.